Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. What do we got going on in the markets today? Well, it's the day before Thanksgiving and the markets are up. Dow's up about 100. Nasdaq's up about 100. I'm still looking for the top in the market. I think this market's going to come back down. I think we're close to the top. I think we're very close. Now, the SPY, it's sitting basically right below the 200-day moving average. Now, if it pokes its head above the 200-day moving average, I think that is a great shorting opportunity. I don't think this market will stay above the 200-day moving average before we come back down and retest that low. That's what I'm playing it for. Now, if we do pop above the 200-day moving average, I'll be putting money to work in the short direction. All right, so let's go over to the real estate market. Now, the real estate market is still in a lot of trouble. It is not going to have such a happy Thanksgiving. Look at, okay, so in the month of October, there was 50,000 contracts that fell out of escrow. Now, for a real estate broker, this is a terrible thing, right? You find the buyer, they put down their deposit money, and for some reason, the transaction falls apart. You have to start over. But 1 out of every 5 transactions in the month of October, they just fell apart. The reason is that the interest rates have spiked too high. The mortgage rates at 7%, people cannot afford to purchase the homes. Even if they want to buy the homes, they can't afford to purchase the homes. Now, I think it's very naive well, a lot of people, when I read these articles on Yahoo, for example, okay, all right, you read these articles and they all say that this will not be like 2008. It won't be that bad. And I think that's very naive thinking, right? Look, the market is boom and bust cycles, boom and bust cycles. And the bigger the boom, the bigger the bust. Now, why do they think it's not going to be worse than 2008 was? 2008, we had this debt bubble, but now the debt bubble's so much bigger. The housing bubble has exploded bigger. It's a bigger bubble, and it's going to pop worse than we did in 2008. I mean, a lot of people think that we're close to the end now. We're down 10%. I see some people on YouTube, some realtors, they're talking about buying properties here because they come down. I don't think I think the pain is just getting started. I think we have a lot farther to go. I think 2023 is going to be just a horrendous year for the real estate market. I really do, but a lot of people are thinking that it's almost at the tail end. Look, this is going to take 2-3 years to play out. It's not done yet. It's just getting started. This bubble is still a huge bubble that's going to pop, and it's going to be worse than it was in 2008. Now, we got real estate agents. Real estate agents are in a lot of trouble, right? All right, so the National Association of Realtors, which I am a member of, I do belong, I'm one of the 1.54 million. So 1.54 million, that's a record now for the NAR, the National Association of Realtors. That's a record for the number of real estate agents that are in the business. Now, this number is starting to decline and starting to decline at a rapid rate. Now, why is it declining? Isn't it fun to be a realtor? Isn't it fun to make all the money that the real estate agents make? Look, out of those 1.5 million, you realize 800,000, over half, 800,000 of them made zero money last year. 800,000 of them did not sell one property, but yet they're in the real estate business. This is what they do. They go to work and they try to sell houses, but 800,000 of them did not even get one house sold, right? So they worked all year and they made zero money, but it's worse than that. It's worse than that. Right now, it's a time of year where we have to pay our dues to the National Association, you got your state association, you got your local association, you got your MLS fees. For me in California, that comes to about $2,000. So those that worked all year and didn't sell the property, well, they got to come up with $2,000. Now, most of them, they're not renewing their licenses. They're not renewing them because they're making no money. They have zero sales. But it could be even worse than that. Let's say you work for a company Well, that's like a Century 21. Now, you may have a desk fee that you have to pay every month. This can be from $200 to $600. That's your spot in the office, and that's the fee you have to pay to have the desk in the office. So there's another, $2,000, $6,000 a year. So these people that are working all year long, they're not making any money. Now, here's an interesting statistic, right? 1/3 of all realtors right now can no longer afford to pay their rent or their mortgage, whichever one they have. So what's funny is a lot of these real estate agents, their houses are going to be the ones that are going to come up in foreclosure, or if they rent, they're going to come up for eviction, right? Because 1/3 of them cannot make their payment anymore. All right. So 37%, almost 40% of real estate agents struggle to pay their office rent. Now, a lot of agents have moved to the work from home model, just like everybody did in the pandemic. You can be a real estate agent working out of your house, and you rarely go into the office. You meet people at the property that you're selling, and you don't really have people come into the office. So you can, there's really no reason to have an office. And there's a lot of agencies out there now that are starting their own work from home programs where they don't have the physical brick and mortar offices anymore for real estate agents to go in. One is called EXP Realty. Well, every agent works from home. All their agents work from home. They're a virtual brokerage firm, and that's becoming the norm in the real estate industry because the agents, they cannot afford to pay the rent for the office space. So why have an office space? Because nobody goes to the office space anyways. But you'll notice that in the real estate business, there's a lot of going on right now. Okay, so these real estate brokers, ones like Redfin, ones like EXP, there's a lot of them out there, but their stock prices are down about 90%. They were, like Redfin, for example, it was trading at $100 last year. $100, it's down to $4. EXP was up around $100 last year. It's down around $10. And these are the jumbo, the giants. These are the big conglomerates. Look, I'm an independent broker. I don't work for anyone but myself. I got tired of giving them some agencies. They want 40% of your commission, 40% of your commission to use their name. And I went out and I got my broker's license. Got it, a long time ago, going on 40 years, right? I'm an old guy. I got it when I was 18, my license when I was 18. I was a broker by the time I was 20. So I've had my broker's license over 40 years. I know this business inside and out. But here's the fascinating thing also. What's the number one bankruptcy lawyers? Who's their number one client? Well, it's real estate agents, right? It's mortgage brokers. These people, they're not making any money, and they have to pay their fees or they get kicked out of the business. So right now, they're paying to work. So anyways, the real estate business is in a lot of turmoil, but the house prices themselves are coming down at a very rapid rate. Now, of course, not in your area. In your area, it could never crash. But I'm telling you, this is getting scary. Look, in my area, we have $1 million price reductions. Now, my area, home prices are very expensive, but they were going from $5 million down to $4 million. Hey, price reduction. Well, those are the luxury homes in my area. The tract homes, though, in my area, they start now. Some areas you can get them as low as $1.5 million, but those have dropped down towards the $1 million level. They're coming down. And prices are going to continue to come down. I see a price reduction. And of course, as a real estate agent, we have to say price improvement. Man, that price is really getting improved. Well, it's just changing out there. It's changing at a very rapid pace. Now, when this downturn really starts to capitulate and starts to go down at a rapid pace. Look at right now, we're only down about 10% in my area. Okay, 10%. So you can get 10% within the price that Billy Bob got. And that's pretty good because once this downturn really takes effect in 2023, and the capitulation starts to happen, the forced selling starts to happen, you're not really going to be able to get out of the market. The market's going to freeze up. This is your last chance. chance to get out close to what Billy Bob got at. Next year, you're not going to be able to get out pretty much at any price. I mean, if you have to sell, you're going to have to take a deep discount. Right now, homes are staying on the market a lot longer. I mean, you can go on the MLS and look it up. I mean, there's a lot of homes that have been on over 120 days already. Now, that 120 days is only 4 months. You know that over history, the average time to sell that property, it's about 6 months. So 4 months isn't really that bad, right? Okay, so that's not that bad, but it's getting worse. The days on market is getting longer and longer. And as the market starts to come down, you're going to see the credit freeze up. I think that banks are in trouble. I'm going to talk about that more next week. But the banks are in a lot of trouble right now, and the credit's freezing up for a lot of things. The credit's freezing up for zombie companies. They can't go out and they can't finance their companies anymore. But the real estate market, it's really getting tougher. There's more constrictions on the lending right now. And when this capitulation happens, you're not going to be able to find any lending unless you are top 850 credit score. Then you might be able to go out and get a loan at 10%. And that might be the only loan available. But this housing market, I mean, it's already frozen up. Look, we're in the holidays, right? We got Thanksgiving tomorrow. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, but the holiday season really has frozen up this housing market. There's not going to be many sales between now and the end of the year. And so a lot of people would say, well, that's a good time to buy. I'm the only buyer. Well, it is that you do have a point there. You have negotiating power. And if you go out and put an offer, and I recommend 20, 30% below what they're asking, and they just may take it because you're the only game in town between now and the end of the year. Now and the end of the year comes the first of the year. All right, so the first of the year, though, here's what happens, right? People are waiting right now. They're not putting their house on the market. They're waiting until the beginning of the year so they can get their house onto the market. They're staying in their property through the holiday season. But the first of the year, the inventory is going to start to come on the market. Everybody's going, well, that's good. We got the selling season coming, in the springtime. It'll be ready. It'll be really, if these houses will sell. No, they won't. I'm telling you, we're going to see 10% mortgage rates. We're going to see a lockup in the credit markets. We're going to see these housing coming down, capitulation, I think 40, 50% off. And that may be a conservative number. When people tell me, they tell me it's not going to be as bad as 2008. I just think they're naive. I think it's going to be much worse because the bubble is so much bigger. Now, look, I didn't want to get carried away right before Thanksgiving. A lot of people don't like to hear this stuff. That's why they tell you it's only not as bad as 2008. People don't want to know the truth. But if you watch my channel, you want me to tell you what I believe. You want me to tell you the truth. And the truth is the housing market is circling the drain in the wrong direction right now. We're going to be going down. There's going to be a big flush out. Anyways, if you're patient, you can get some great bargains. I'm Tall Mike. Everybody get out there. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. And I hope to talk to you real soon. Bye-bye now.